You know what? I'm done. I'm absolutely done pretending everything is fine. Tonight, I'm saying what nobody else has the guts to say out loud. Cody Rhodes, the so-called American Nightmare, the golden boy who was supposed to save WWE, the man who finished his story, has single-handedly turned Smackdown into the most unwatchable show in professional wrestling history. And before you come at me in the comments, before you tell me I'm just a hater, I need you to stay with me until the end of this video because what I'm about to break down is going to change the way you see Friday nights forever. This isn't about hate. This is about the truth. This is about our wrestling. This is about SLAMZONE telling it like it is, and if you care about this business half as much as I do, you're going to want to hear every single word. But before we dive into this chaos, I need something from you. I need you to be part of this family. Because when the rest of the wrestling world is lying to you, when they're selling you dreams and false narratives, SLAMZONE is the place where we keep it real. So if you've ever felt frustrated, if you've ever screamed at your TV wondering why the product isn't what it used to be, hit that subscribe button right now. Smash that notification bell because we're building something special here, a community that refuses to be fed garbage and call it gourmet. Comment below and let me know if you agree or if you think I've lost my mind, but whatever you do, stay until the end because this gets wild. Let me take you back. Let me paint you a picture of what Smackdown used to represent. Friday nights were electric. You'd rush home from work, from school, you'd cancel plans because you knew you were about to witness something special. The blue brand was stacked with talent, storylines that made sense, moments that gave you goosebumps. You remember when Edge returned? When Roman Reigns was building his empire with the bloodline? When every segment mattered and every match felt like it could steal the show? That was Smackdown. That was our show. Now you're getting 2.5 hours of the Cody Rhodes variety show, and I'm sick of it. Week after week, we start the show with Cody. We end the show with Cody. The middle of the show? You guessed it, more Cody. And I can already hear some of you saying, but he's the champion. He's supposed to be featured. And you're right, the champion should be featured. But there's a difference between featuring your champion and drowning your entire roster in his shadow. Think about this for a second. When was the last time you genuinely cared about a mid-card storyline on SmackDown? When was the last time a tag team division match made you jump out of your seat? When did the United States Championship feel like it actually mattered? I'll wait. The silence is deafening, isn't it? Because everything, and I mean everything, has been sacrificed at the altar of making Cody Rhodes look like the greatest thing since sliced bread. And here's what really gets me heated, what really makes my blood boil. Cody isn't even cutting new promos anymore. It's the same speech every single week. I finished my story. This is for my father. The American dream lives on. Brother, we get it. We understood it the first 73 times you told us. We were there for WrestleMania 40. We saw you beat Roman. We celebrated with you. It was beautiful, it was emotional, it was everything wrestling should be. But that moment is over. That story is done. And instead of moving forward, instead of creating something new, something fresh, WWE has trapped Cody in this loop where he's constantly reliving his greatest hit like a rock band that only plays their one popular song from 30 years ago. You can feel the energy draining from the Thunderdome, from whatever arena they're in that week. The crowd starts hot because they're wrestling fans and they want to be entertained. But by the time Cody's doing his third segment of the night, you can hear it in their voices. The chants become routine. The pops become obligatory. There's no genuine electricity anymore because everyone knows exactly what's going to happen. Cody's going to overcome the odds. Cody's going to give an inspiring speech. Cody's going to shake hands and kiss babies and everything is going to be perfectly, predictably, painfully average. And it's not entirely Cody's fault. I want to make that clear because I know his fans are already typing furious comments. Cody Rhodes is a talented performer. He's got the pedigree, he's got the work ethic, he's proven he can deliver on the biggest stages. But he's also a product of the system, and the system right now is fundamentally broken. Triple H and the creative team have put all their eggs in one basket, and that basket is cracking under the pressure. Look at what's happening to the rest of the roster. LA Knight was the hottest act in all of wrestling 6 months ago. The crowd was literally chanting his name during matches he wasn't even in. He was printing money, he was must-see TV, and now he's lucky if he gets 10 minutes on the show, cutting the same promo in the same spot, going nowhere. That's not LA Knight's fault. That's creative having no idea what to do with anyone who isn't Cody Rhodes. AJ Styles, a future Hall of Famer, one of the greatest in-ring performers of this generation, is being fed to Cody in throwaway matches that nobody believes he has a chance of winning. Randy Orton comes back from injury to thunderous applause, and within weeks he's just another guy standing next to Cody, playing second fiddle in his own segments. Kevin Owens, who's been carrying this company on his back for years, can't get a meaningful storyline to save his life because guess what? All the meaningful storylines go to you-know-who. The women's division on SmackDown is absolutely stacked with talent. Bianca Belair, Bayley, Jade Cargill, Naomi, these are world-class athletes who could be having show-stealing matches and compelling feuds. But instead, they get one match per show if they're lucky, squeezed in between Cody segments, treated like bathroom breaks rather than the attractions they deserve to be. And don't even get me started on the tag team division. The Street Profits, Pretty Deadly, these teams that could be building the future of tag team wrestling are lucky if they get on TV once a month. This is where legends are made, or at least, this is where they used to be made. Now it's where careers go to die, slowly, quietly, overshadowed by one man's never-ending victory lap. And listen, I know this is hard to hear. I know some of you are invested in Cody's journey, and I respect that. But if you love this business the way I love this business, if you want Smackdown to be great again, then you need to hear the truth. You need to understand what's happening right in front of our eyes. That's why I need you to hit that like button right now. Share this video with every wrestling fan you know who's been feeling the same frustration. Subscribe to SLAMZONE because we're not afraid to have these conversations. We're not afraid to call out the problems, even when it's uncomfortable. This channel is for the real fans, the ones who remember when wrestling was unpredictable, when anything could happen, when the show actually mattered. Join this family, and let's demand better together. Because we deserve better. You deserve better. What really breaks my heart, what genuinely makes me sad about this whole situation, is watching the slow death of unpredictability. Wrestling at its best is about not knowing what's going to happen next. It's about those moments where your jaw drops, where you can't believe what you just witnessed, where you immediately text your friends because you need to share the shock with someone. When's the last time Smackdown gave you that feeling? When's the last time you were genuinely surprised by anything that happened on Friday night? Every week follows the same formula. Cody opens the show with a promo. Someone interrupts him, either a heel challenger or another babyface who wants to team up with him. They exchange words. Maybe they have a match later, maybe it gets saved for the pay-per-view. Cody wins or overcomes adversity in some inspiring fashion. Everyone goes home happy except for those of us who remember when wrestling used to be dangerous, when it used to feel real, when outcomes weren't guaranteed before the bell even rang. The pay-per-views have become just as predictable. You know Cody's retaining. You know he's going to have a good match because he's a good worker, but you also know there's zero chance of him losing that title until WWE decides it's time for his next pre-planned, focus group, corporate-approved storyline transition. There's no stakes. There's no drama. There's just the slow march toward an inevitable conclusion that we all see coming from miles away. And the worst part? The absolute worst part of all of this? It's making people turn on Cody Rhodes as a person, as a performer, when the real villain here is the creative direction. Cody's doing what he's told. He's being a company guy. He's showing up and working hard. But the machine has turned him into this sanitized, corporate-approved, focus-tested version of what a wrestling champion should be, and it's sucking the life out of Smackdown in the process. I've been watching wrestling for decades. I've seen promotions rise and fall. I've seen champions who elevated everyone around them and champions who made their shows unwatchable. And right now, whether intentionally or not, Cody Rhodes has become the latter. Smackdown is dying, not because of the talent, not because of the production values, not because of anything except the creative bankruptcy that has one man dominating every single aspect of the show. This is supposed to be where magic happens. This is supposed to be where we see the future of professional wrestling being built. Instead, we're watching a slow-motion car crash, and everyone's too afraid to say it out loud because they don't want to be accused of hating Cody or not understanding the business. Well, I understand the business perfectly, and what I understand is that this isn't sustainable. The saddest thing about all of this is that it didn't have to be this way. Cody's championship reign could have been legendary. It could have been the start of a new golden era for SmackDown. Instead, it's become a cautionary tale about putting too much focus on one person at the expense of everything else. And yeah, some of you are going to say I'm being too harsh. Some of you are going to defend WWE no matter what. But deep down, if you're honest with yourself, you know I'm right. You know Friday nights aren't what they used to be. You know something fundamental has changed, and not for the better. So what happens next? Where does SmackDown go from here? That's the million-dollar question, and honestly, I don't have a good answer. As long as the creative philosophy remains protect Cody at all costs, nothing is going to change. The show will continue to decline. The ratings will keep sliding. And eventually, even the most loyal fans are going to give up and find something else to do on Friday nights. But here's what I know for sure. Change starts with us. Change starts with fans refusing to accept mediocrity. Change starts with channels like SLAMZONE being willing to have these difficult conversations, to point out the problems, to demand better for the wrestling we love. And that's why I need you right now more than ever. Subscribe to this channel. Hit that notification bell. Drop a comment below telling me whether you agree or think I'm completely wrong. Share this video everywhere because the only way things get better is if enough of us stand up and say, this isn't good enough. Smackdown is dead. And Cody Rhodes, whether he meant to or not, is the one holding the smoking gun. This isn't about personal hatred. This isn't about tearing someone down for fun. This is about loving professional wrestling enough to tell the truth, even when that truth is uncomfortable. The blue brand deserves better. The roster deserves better. And most importantly, you, the fans, deserve so much better than what you're getting right now. I'm SLAMZONE, and I'll never stop fighting for the wrestling we all fell in love with. Hit that subscribe button, join this family, and let's keep demanding excellence together. Because when we stop caring, when we stop speaking up, that's when wrestling truly dies. And I'm not ready to let that happen. Are you? Let me know in the comments. I'll see you in the next one.